Alrighty. Welcome everyone to another episode of Feel Good Fridays. This is the good news show brought to you by MJKO and Shape Your Life, where we share with you guys some good news from all over the world to spread some positive vibes. Alright, let's turn this around. Alright, welcome. I am your host, Jimmy, and we'll be sharing lots of good news today. But before we start, here is the updated MJKO Shape Your Life online schedule. So you'll see Sophia classes will be at noon, except for Thursdays. And then I'll be teaching at 2 p.m. on live, my workouts. And then we got 5 shows throughout the week, 5 different shows. Today will be Feel Good Fridays, since it's a Friday. All right. Remember, to visit the MJKO website, you can go to mjko.ca and check us out there. You can click the red donate button in the top right if you feel like donating. All right. Takes you to our donation page. Pretty straightforward. You can also consider going to shapeyourlife.com, shapeyourlifeboxing.com. As you can see, our shirt is MJKO and Shape Your Life. Alrighty, our first story of today from the Toronto Blue Jays. All right. So, Major League Baseball is probably the only major sport that is not in a bubble. They're free to travel in the States to all the Major League Baseball arenas, and this is where the Blue Jays will play all their home games. This is in Buffalo. So that is pretty cool, and you can see in the stands they have some blue and the TD and all the other sponsors, so that's pretty cool. The Blue Jays are going to play in Buffalo. Alright, first story of a cat. Let's take a look.
When we first started noticing this cat kind of coming around, checking out our patio and kind of watching us from afar, we started seeing him quite a bit more, almost every day. So I started putting out a little bit of food for him. He really would just kind of come around, eat the food and treats that we gave him, and then sort of just lay around on our patio. As soon as you got up to leave, he would try to follow you. He walked right into my office, a lap or two, walking around, checking everything out, and then just flopped down. I was nervous at first to let him in because we do have a dog named Murphy who is cat friendly, but we had no idea how Kevin would react. Just went right up to our 70-pound dog and was like, "Hey, you're my friend now." Going around to different vets to see if he was microchipped. Brought him in. She brought Kevin back in the room and said Kevin is a girl, and congratulations.
They named it Kevin and turns out it's a girl. Interesting. But that's pretty cool. Pregnant cat.
Because she's super pregnant. She showed us her x-rays and said that there would be 4 to 5 kittens coming anywhere as early as that night. So Kevin was due any minute. We set her up sort of a nest and we just started waiting. Kevin's appointment was on a Friday, and then on Wednesday, April 1st, she started to go into labor. She ended up being amazing. She had 4 kittens. They're adorable. We love them to pieces. After 5 days, we started letting Murphy in to see them, and we were really nervous at first. We didn't know how he would react. We didn't know if Kevin would get really defensive and protective over her kittens, but she just welcomed him right in.
Wow. I feel like this cat just finessed these people. Pregnant, and then just finds these people, these nice people, adorable, and then they adopt the cat, and it turns out the cat's pregnant, and it has 4 kittens. That's 5 total extra mouths to feed that they didn't have last week. Wow. But good on these people for taking the cat in and the kittens. Man, that is pretty cool. Alright, we're going to be moving on to our next story. If it loads. Okay, Transport Canada says, if you can't wear a mask for medical reasons, prove it or don't fly. All right, that's pretty cool. A lot of people are, refusing to wear masks due to medical reasons, but now they gotta prove it instead of just saying it. All right, so let's see. So the airline said if travelers want to fly without a mask, they must provide a medical note that has been issued by a medical professional. An official letterhead is dated, clearly states the passenger's name and that they have a medical condition that prevents them from wearing a mask. Wow, interesting. All right, so if you're going to be flying on an airplane anytime soon, that is good to know. All right. Orange County declares August 24th as Kobe Bryant Day. Let's take a listen.
Kobe Bryant will be honored later this month in Orange County. The Board of Supervisors today voted to make August 24th Kobe Bryant Day in the county. The date was chosen because Bryant was born in the month of August and wore the number 24 during much of his career. Bryant lived in Newport Beach, and supervisors say he played an important role in the community. Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others died in a helicopter crash in January.
Rest in peace, Kobe. I love you, Kobe Bryant. Hey, what's up, Kutula? All right, so Orange County, August 24th, Kobe Bryant Day. Wow. May he rest in peace, along with all the victims. All right, next story. Patrick Star getting his own show from SpongeBob SquarePants creators. All right, I'm gonna look forward to that. Because SpongeBob, man, that show, an all-time great show. If I'm being honest, Patrick Star, I think they got another winner on their hands. That's gonna be pretty cool. Any details on when it's gonna be released? No, but they confirmed that the Patrick Star show's existence is clearly unclear when it will air. All right, cool. Patrick Star. All right, next story from the Toronto Zoo. Toronto Zoo's red panda baby is 30 days old and the cutest thing you've ever seen. All right, let's take a look. What is that, 300 grams? Wow, 30 days old, only that small? That's interesting. So that's a fully grown red, wait, no, that's a baby red panda and a smaller baby red panda. Very interesting. Alrighty, next story from Ontario. The educational minister Lisi admits Ontario is open to staggering the start of the school year. Yeah, red panda is pretty cute, Katula. All right, so there was an update today that they're still discussing what to do for the start of the school year because, as we all know, schools are pretty cramped with all the students inside, which is a recipe for disaster if there isn't a COVID-19 outbreak. So we'll see. We'll keep up to date with the educational minister of Ontario. All right, next story from Toronto as well. Toronto just got a massive white sand beach patio in the middle of the city. All right, so this is in the East End in Leslieville by Gerrard and Jones area. All right, so as you can see, they created a patio out of a old parking lot. Pretty cool. So you can order food, order drinks, and all that jazz. All right, next story. All right, so apparently you can take fitness classes inside the massive Van Gogh exhibition in Toronto. That's interesting. This looks like yoga and art at the same time. Wow, that is pretty inspiring. All right. Ooh, throwback. Let's go. Throw it back to the 1970s, 50 years ago now. So this is what Toronto waterfront looked like in the 1970s. So let's take a look. Pretty old. Central Harbor, all right. Wow, pretty desolate. No photos of the CN Tower. I'm assuming it wasn't built then. And then this is Queensway towards Maple Leaf Mills, sorry, Spadina Way. All right. What is this? Ontario Place. Oh, wow. Interesting. What is this building? Oh, wait, is that the base of the CN? The CN Tower rises over the sprawling railway lands in 1974. Wow, that's the same tower being built. Oh, and then now it's built. 1976. Wow. This still looks the same. And that building is still here today. Very cool. Alrighty. Next story. No COVID-19 patients currently hospitalized at UHN for the first time in months. Alright, so announcement consistent with hospital data across the province, says Chief Medical Officer of Health. Alright, so Toronto University's Health Network, or UHN, is reporting no admitted COVID-19 cases in its hospitals for the first time in months. So that is pretty good news. So that doesn't mean that there isn't any COVID-19 cases in Toronto. That just means that there's none that are bad enough to be hospitalized in Toronto. So that's pretty good news, and hopefully we can keep it that way. Our next story. From a stray dog who visited a car dealership every day gets adopted and lands dream job. I didn't know dogs can have jobs. All right. After spending his life until now on the streets, Tucson Prime is now in charge of meeting and greeting customers at a car dealership, and he couldn't be. Where is this car dealership? I need to go visit him. Okay. Persistence has paid off for a stray dog who refused to stop turning up to a car dealership after he was adopted and simultaneously landed a dream job. His dream job. How did it know it's his dream job? Anyways, the lonely pooch kept going to Hyundai Prime branch in Brazil. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to go to that one. I'm in Canada. After staff fell in love with him, they decided to adopt him and put him to work. Newly named Tucson Prime is now in charge of meeting and greeting customers at the dealership, and he couldn't be happier. Wow. According to Board Panda, one night when it's particularly rainy, manager Emerson Mariano invited the pooch inside and let him have some food and water. Okay. All right, next story from Kenya. All right, so shout out to Kenya. Elephant baby boom in Kenya. Numbers double over 3 decades. All right, let's see. Kenya's elephant population has more than doubled from 1989 to today, its wildlife service announced at an event marking World Elephant Day. Tourism Minister Najib Balala said authorities have managed to tame poaching. So let's see the numbers. Okay, there were just 16,000 elephants in Kenya in 1989, but by 2018, the number had grown to more than 34,000. Wow, that is pretty good. Nice. Good job, Kenya. All right, next story. A woman finds a lost dog in the middle of a lake. All right, let's take a look.
Dog on the lake. A local family is sharing their story after finding a dog swimming all alone on Lake Michigan. News 8's Whitney Burney spoke with the family that was able to rescue the dog, and she joins us live now with their story tonight. Whitney?
Well, Leon, the Wilcox family was on a trip from Grand Haven to Frankfurt at the time of this. They tell me they were a few hours before reaching their destination when they spotted something red on the lake, realized it was a dog, and jumped into action. Now, these are some photos that the family shared with us of the dog after they rescued. The Wilcox family tells me the dog was at least 4 miles offshore when they spotted her. They say the dog swam to their boat and they were able to pull her aboard. The Wilcox family tells me she was shaking, cold, and scared, as you can imagine. They were able to get that dog to a vet in Belmont to scan her microchip and later return her to her family.
I just hope that this was my dog, somebody would do the same for me. And just, I don't know. I would just be very grateful, happy, because I know how rough Lake Michigan can be.
That's absolutely amazing. How does a dog swim that far? Jeez, but good thing it got saved. Anyways, next story. A 103-year-old grandma gets first tattoo to cross it off her bucket list. All right, let's see. So, a 103-year-old Michigan grandma isn't letting the coronavirus pandemic stop her from crossing off the latest item on her bucket list, her first tattoo. Wow, that's pretty cool. Her first tattoo at age 103. So let's see. She got a frog. Wow. Pretty cool. It's nice and small too. All right, so congratulations to her for getting her first tattoo. I wonder if they gave her the seniors discount. All right, next story from BBC News. All right, firefighter fosters Jack Russell dog that he saved from flames. Well, let's see. A dog that nearly died in fire is being fostered by the firefighter who saved her. Oh, her. Okay, so that's a female dog. Okay. So fire crews were called to a flat fire in Newham on 28th of July and found a woman being treated outside by paramedics, but learned her Jack Russell was missing. Lead firefighter Jamie True found Millie lying apparently lifeless under a bed. She was given oxygen and water and came to after 10 minutes. Oh, man. That must have been scary, but good on the firefighters. Alrighty, let's move on. Next story. Mrs. Lampkin knits woolly jumpers for orphaned lambs while saving herself from COVID-19 boredom. I didn't know there's such thing as an orphaned lamb. Where did he find them? Is this an orphanage for lambs? Alright, let's see. Perth resident Trish Lampkin has never lived on a farm or raised a sheep, but she has dedicated hours to knitting hundreds of life-saving jumpers for lambs feeling cold. Oh, they get cold. That's pretty cool. You learn something every day. All right, about a year ago, Mrs. Lampkins read about a Mary Knight from New South Wales calling on knitters to make jumpers for lambs orphaned by drought and circumstances. Without proper care, the lambs are in danger of freezing to death in paddocks during cold winter nights. Wow, I did not know that. That's pretty awesome. Seeing all these animals wear some sweaters. Oh, and this is her, Mrs. Lampkins, or Trish Lampkin. Nice. Ooh, so fashionable. Wow. You never know something until you see it. Now I want a baby goat, or is it baby lamb? Sorry, baby lamb with a sweater. All right. The next story from Philly. All right, so free internet coming to 35,000 families, Philly families. So for city schools, Comcast to spend $17 million on digital equity plan. All right, let's see. With the start of school year just weeks away, city officials on Thursday announced a plan to provide free internet access to 35,000 low-income families that are currently lacking. Pretty good initiative. All right, hopefully more cities across the world follow this kind of model. You know, internet should be accessible to everyone. So good on Philly. Alrighty, next story. All right, from CTV News Calgary. Okay, so Aaron goes wherever we go. Friends carry man in wheelchair to view waterfall. Wow, so these are his buddies. That's pretty cool. You know. All right, so a group of young men in Edmonton area inspired many by recently carrying up their friend up the Grotto Canyon Trail near Canmore, Alta, to view a waterfall. Wow. Okay, so Aaron Friesen, who has spastic bilateral cerebral palsy as a result of lack of oxygen at birth, has been in a wheelchair his whole life. Okay. This condition affects my whole body, but mainly my legs, said the 21-year-old. I have been in a wheelchair my whole life. Some people like to give me pity or feel that they should. My family and friends know that that's not what I want, though. What I want to be is treated like I belong, and they do a great job of that. So, on Sunday, August 2nd, a group of 5 friends, Friesen, Willie Peters, Corny Klassen, Benny Thiessen, and Alvin Wolf, set on a 4-kilometer hike to the waterfall and back on a route that included a rough and steep terrain. Wow. My hat's off to them. You know, that is some great friends to help carry their friend in a wheelchair up a trail to view a waterfall. Hopefully they're friends for life, you know. Shout out to them. All right, next one. Zimbabwe. Lives matter. All right. All right, so news out of Zimbabwe. Okay, stars and politicians, including Ice Cube and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, have spoken out, adding to pressure on President Emerson Mnangagwa regime. All right, so let's see. So the hashtag Zimbabwean Lives Matter campaign, which originated in South Africa this week, is Currently #1 on the list of trending topics on Twitter and prominent on other social media platforms. Wow. What is happening in Zimbabwe? Okay, the campaign comes after arrests, abductions, and torture of high-profile political activists and incarceration of journalists. Wow. So, hashtag Zimbabwean Lives Matter. Hopefully, it gets all sorted out soon. But good to see that a lot of stars and politicians are coming together to help Zimbabwe. Shout out to Zimbabwe, and hopefully they get that sorted soon. All right, next story. All right, let's see. Seniors supporting mass recall rationing during World War II. Okay, so these are a few stories from some seniors who lived through World War II. All right, so let's take a read. So, okay, Leonard Custer, 91. Let's see. Leonard Custer said he was just 13 years old when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941. All right. He remembers the nation pulling together during a time of international strife. Very unified, I guess you could say, very patriotic, Custer recalled. All right. Custer said he thinks members of younger generations are brighter and more independent thinkers, but also thinks that more younger people are looking for a cause. In my lifetime, I've never seen it so confused, Custer said. I think we're probably in one of the most confused areas of our time, not because of the virus problem, but it complicates a very difficult political time that we're in. Custer says he thinks the division may partially come from the unseen nature of COVID-19. Okay, let's see. Okay, Jerry Gloystein, 91. Let's see. So Gloystein said she was in high school during World War II. All right. She remembers all the rationing that we did, the stamp books we had, the gas, the sugar, the flour, all those things were rationed. All right, so she remembers having to present a stamp every time she went to the store. They would tear it out, so you learn to live carefully and not be wasteful. Wow. And, you know, we see a lot of people protesting COVID-19 right now. They think we have it bad now. World War II was worse. So, let's see. What does she think about now? Okay, so she says she remembers neighbors coming together to help each other in 1940s, but doesn't see that happening in 2020. I feel that at the time we all worked together, neighbors and friends, we're all willing to share and care for each other. I see it now as a sort of a me world. Gloystein recalled for everyone betterment, for a better world, a better environment, better attitude. I do not see that same sense today. Very interesting to see older generation's opinions on today. All right, let's see. Ralph Hinst, 84. All right, so he says he remembers he was just starting first grade in Denver when the war broke out, World War II. We had all kinds of things in the war to help with the war effort. Okay, so in addition to rations on meat and gasoline, he said he remembers not being able to buy many car parts, including tires, because they all went towards the war efforts. So many were drafted, a lot of them were younger than my father. All right, let's see. Okay, he said that everyone should wear a mask whenever they leave their home. Wow, it's easier than they had it back in World War II, am I right? Just wear a mask. All right, next one. From the Erie Zoo welcomes 2 critically endangered red panda cubs. Didn't we see just red panda cubs from Toronto Zoo? Wow. I guess they're all being born at this time. Red panda cubs. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, Emily with the Erie Zoo here. As you probably might have already heard, we have a big announcement today. Erie News Now and a couple news stations, all the news stations and everything were here today already, but we wanted to give you a little sneak peek from our point of view. So we have a special announcement. I'm going to show you behind me real quick. We got some more new babies at the zoo. We have some red panda babies. Joining me today is Dr. PJ Palumbo. She has been taking care and hand raising these little ones. And for the big reveal, let's see them.
Oh yes, here we go. Show me the babies.
There they are. So we have a little boy and a little girl. Little girl is...
Wow. How cute is that? They're like the size of a human hand. Very cool. Didn't they say they had 4? This is only 2 of them. Where's the other 2? on, show me the baby, as they said in The Mandalorian, if anyone watches that show.
With us for some time now. This is the first litter for the two of them, so that's pretty exciting. Pumari is extremely valuable.
Let's see. Ooh, all right. Can we get... Did they show the other two? Wow, so lots of red panda cubs being born at this time. Toronto Zoo and Erie Zoo. Wow. Alrighty. Next story from Mexico. Alright, so I think was it last week or the week before that? We talked about a state in Mexico called Oaxaca banning junk food sales to kids. So more states in this. Okay, so more states in Mexico are following Oaxaca's lead and move to ban junk food sales to kids. Alright, federal lawmakers are also considering a ban. Wow. Wow, man, Mexico is leading the way. That is pretty good news out of Mexico. Alright, so let's see. Oaxaca's new law, which imposes fines and even jail time for anyone other than parents who provide unhealthy packaged foods to children under the age of 18, effectively putting junk food in the same category as alcohol and cigarettes. Wow. Now, if you go to Mexico and you're a kid, I guess you're gonna be super healthy now. No more junk food for the kids, unless given to you by your parents. Alright, let's take a look at this next story. A woman removes 300 hooks from shark's mouth. Alright, let's see.
I love my sharks, and I start seeing them coming in with these hooks. The hook removal started like anything would start when you love someone. I just wanted to make their lives a little bit better, to relieve their pain. With Foggy Eye, one day she showed up and she had one that was actually inside. I would open her jaw and see the hook. And then at a certain moment, I decided to basically stick my hand in and pull the hook out. But then as soon as she came back, she allowed me to pet her. And from that day on, became a shark that would just...
What? That is absolutely insane. Wow, can you imagine just sticking your hand in a shark's mouth? Those are not big sharks, but if anyone's ever seen the inside of a shark's mouth, they have like 300 sharp teeth. Jeez.
When I remove the hooks, I feel happy, satisfied, and relieved. And then the other thing I notice is as I start removing hooks from my known sharks, other sharks will start showing up with hooks. People ask me, do they communicate?
Other sharks showing up. They're probably telling all their shark buddies, be like, hey, you need your hook removed? I know a lady, and I'll take you. Wow, that is pretty cool. She's like a shark whisperer.
Had a shark from the first moment I saw one. It took a year and some time before the transition between being a diver and then being a professional and then working with sharks and then finally having a shark in my lap. It's understanding that it's done on the shark's terms, not on mine. Because every time a shark does that, I do realize what a privilege it is. This is a wild animal, and she's given me full...
Petting a shark. Wow. That is absolutely amazing. You do a favor for an animal, and it shows you some respect back. Wow. And these are wild animals. Sharks. Huh. Alrighty. Moving on to our last story of today. Say the best for last. Hashtag Raptors. Let's go. This is the NBA playoff schedule for the Toronto Raptors. Alright, the defending champs. Alright, we're going to start August 17th. So the playoff starts August 17th. The number 2 seeded Toronto Raptors are facing off against the number 7th seed Brooklyn Nets. Alright, so here is the televised schedule. So Monday at 4 p.m. All right. And then Wednesday, 1:30. Why is it so early? I'm not going to be able to watch that. Friday, 1:30. And then Sunday, game 4, 6:30. Okay. And of course, this will all be in the NBA bubble, which is in Disneyland of Sports in Orlando, Florida. All right, so that'll be it for today's show. Hopefully you all enjoyed all the good news. And before we wrap up, if you are a youth going through some mental health difficulties right now, we do recognize that COVID-19 is a tough time for many. So if you are a youth, please consider going to kidscellphone.ca where you can text them, phone them, even live chat them. All right, so that is a good mental health resource for youth. Our next one, it's not age specific, so if you are an adult or a youth, you can visit this mental health resource, which is called Wellness Together Canada. You can visit a website which is ca.portal.gs. All right, they have resources for youth and adults alike, so be sure to check that out. All right, this is Jimmy signing off.